Well, good morning. So I think we're going to have to do a little better than that. I'm not going to be able to do my button. All right, so first of all, can't work for Georgia Power because of my safety record. But I'm grateful for Wellstar for being there to fix me up when I screw it up. So, nevertheless, let's try it again, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
There you go. And Happy New Year to you all. I'm so glad to be here today with you. Thank you, Ben, for such a very warm introduction. And you are clearly a leader in our community. And frankly, I'm afraid to say anything after that introduction for fear of going off track. But I appreciate you so much. Dr. Matthews, you said it, I said it, I love you. I know you love me. And that's what makes our experience at First United Methodist so wonderful. And I've very casually said to you all in the past that we have services at 9 and 11:15 on Sunday and invite you to come. But I sincerely hope that if you're looking for a church home, that you'll consider First United Methodist Church under Sam's leadership. He's done more for myself and Annette and our family and our community than most of us will ever know. And I know that you'll find a home there. We know God loves you. We know we want you with us every Sunday. And we invite you, humbly invite you for 9 o'clock, our 11:15 service, the First United Methodist Church. Thank you for being my friend and my pastor. 2015 was a very incredible, successful year. And we have so much to talk about today. But before we start, I want to recognize some people in this room whom without the success Cobb experienced would not have been possible. First, and as it was mentioned, and most importantly, my wife Annette. The last decade has been incredible as we grow together as a public servant, and she has always been my rock, my best friend, my life partner, and quite frankly, folks, next to my pastor, she's the one that beats me, or actually, Sam takes the number 2 spot. Annette always makes sure that my heart and my compass is pointing in the right direction, and every single day she does that. And she does it under some adverse conditions and some environments that would make most of us angry if your loved one was being attacked away or someone was saying stuff wrong about them. But Annette, I love you so very much. So very much. Now, in spite of what you might hear, the Board of Commissioners, we agree a lot more than we disagree on. And the truth is, Cobb has served extremely well to have 5 independent voices on the Board of Commissioners. In fact, it's our individual strengths that make us a strong board collectively. And therefore, even in our disagreements, Cobb is better because we are a very strong board together. And today, we are going to hear all that we have accomplished together for Cobb County in 2015. So I'd ask my commissioners to please stand. Commissioner Lisa Cupid, Commissioner Joanne Burrow, Commissioner Ott, and Commissioner Weatherford. Please stand to be recognized. Thank you. And I'd also like to please welcome Mr. David Hankerson, our county manager, for going on 20 years. His agency directors, department heads, and staff, please stand and be recognized. And thank you to the team in the office of the chairman, Kelly Brownlow and Charlotte Collins, who helped keep my office running so smoothly day to day. And to our state legislators that are here today, we look forward to working with you this session and creating legislation that's smart, leading edge, and has a funding source if pushed down to the local level. There are also many city elected officials, constitutional officers, judges, and representatives of the sheriff's office here today. Thank you for being here. Your ongoing support and collaborative efforts help Cobb County to continue to strive for excellence and be recognized as best in class. Now, I'd be very remiss if I did not thank the residents of Cobb County. It is an honor and a privilege to serve as your chairman. And despite its challenges, the job is extremely rewarding, and I'm grateful and thankful to you for giving me that opportunity. Thank you to the Cobb County Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring this event, and thank you for Georgia Power for being our host sponsor. You are always such a great partner for our community, and we appreciate it. As I began to prepare my remarks for this morning, I couldn't help but reflect back on the last 5 years that I have been chairman of Cobb County, and how much has changed since my first State of the County address. In January of 2011, I stood here with you in one of the worst economic times in many of our lives. We on the Board of Commissioners, because of this recession, faced some of the toughest decisions in Cobb County history. Even after cutting as many positions as possible, we were then forced to cut services and raise the property tax millage rate in order to balance our budget. Those were the toughest choices I've had to make in my 14 years as a commissioner. These times required hard decisions and decisive leadership. We didn't know it then, but doing the right thing to maintain Cobb's strong financial health put Cobb County in a position of making the boldest decision in our modern history. I am proud to stand here today, just 5 short years later, to report to you that the state of Cobb County is strong and is getting stronger. Cobb County has the lowest taxes, the most robust economic growth, and is the most fiscally conservative of any of the core counties in the region. Within 5 years, we have restored the millage rate on property taxes to pre-recession levels, all the while making tremendous investments in public safety. And we have embarked on one of the most significant public-private partnerships in the history of Cobb County. 2015 was a year of growth, investment, and opportunity. And because of the halo effect of SunTrust Park, Cobb is experiencing economic growth at a record pace. Together, this Board of Commissioners has worked tirelessly to keep our county prosperous, financially conservative, safe everywhere for everyone, and we are poised for an even brighter future. Cobb County's Tax Digest, which is a reflection of property values across Cobb County, is growing, but it's not quite at pre-recession levels. Cobb's conservative financial policies continue to be recognized by Wall Street. For 19 consecutive years, Cobb County earned a AAA rating from each of the 3 major rating agencies. Cobb is one of fewer than 44 counties in the United States to hold this prestigious rating. I want to take a moment to recognize Cobb's Chief Financial Officer, Jim Pearson. Jim, would you please stand up? Jim is, without a doubt, one of the most respected experts on budgeting and financial management in the state of Georgia. And quite frankly, his experience has been sought out across this country from other governments. And we in Cobb County are lucky and fortunate to have his leadership. Thank you, Jim. One of the wisest investments a local government could make with its resources is in public safety. Before I talk more about Cobb County's investment in public safety, I want to recognize and thank every single first responder in Cobb County. Public safety is paramount in every community. And make no mistake about it, the men and women who risk their lives every day to protect ours are the true heroes in Cobb County. It is because of the courage and commitment of these men and women that the Board of Commissioners made a $196 million investment in public safety. This includes new resources that will help put 80 additional officers on the street and help ensure that Cobb has the recruitment and the retention policies in place to attract and retrain the best and the brightest in the public safety business. Will we please give the public safety team a round of applause. Infrastructure is another wise investment in the future of Cobb. The SPLOST program is Cobb County's primary financing tool for infrastructure improvements. 2015 marked the end of the very successful 4-year SPLOST that allowed Cobb County to invest almost $500 million in major upgrades and renovations at dozens of parks, recreational, and cultural facilities across this entire county. The SPLOST made possible key infrastructure and capital projects, including the Skip Span Connector, the Windy Hill Diverging Diamond Interchange, major operational and pedestrian improvements on Six Flags Drive, and the much-needed safety enhancements on Cobb Parkway at Mars Hills Road. Thanks to 2011 SPLOST, Cobb County is now home of an international airport. In 2015, our airport opened a new customs facility, began accepting international flights, and unveiled a new world-class air traffic control tower. This is a wonderful tool for attracting and retaining major corporations. The Cobb International Airport is positioning itself to be the most corporate-friendly facility in the Southeast. Now, I'd like to talk about the investment the private sector has made in Cobb County. In 2015 alone, private companies invested more than $300 million in Cobb County. Since I've been chairman, there have been more than $2 billion of private investment in our community. Cobb County is bucking the trend. Our economic growth is unprecedented. While companies and jobs are moving from the suburbs to the urban core in most parts of this country, the opposite is happening here in Cobb. Let me explain to you how we're bucking the trend. Last year, more than 4,500 jobs were created or retained in Cobb County. 5 new Class A office towers are moving forward in the Galleria area. This is the first time an office tower has been constructed in Cobb County in more than 10 years. Cobb County's unemployment rate is 5%. That's the lowest unemployment rate we have had since 2008. Tourism remains the strongest economic driver in Cobb County, generating more than $2.75 billion annually. This is a 7% increase over the previous year, and it's expected to grow and do better and better. The Kennesaw State University Owls kicked off their inaugural season in 2015, bringing thousands of tourists and visitors to our great county for each of their home games. And speaking of sports, Cobb County began 2015 as a future home of one professional sports team. We ended 2015 as the home of 3 professional sports teams. The Atlanta Blaze, a Major League Lacrosse team that will play at KSU, and the Atlanta United Football Club, a Major League Soccer team, both announced Cobb County as their new home. I would like to recognize the team for the Atlanta Braves here today: Terry McGurk, John Sherholtz, Mike Plant, and Derek Schilling and your team. Thank you for being here. And Darren Eos, President of Atlanta United Soccer. We appreciate that you're bringing real football to Georgia. Thank you for being here. Now, I cannot talk about professional sports teams calling Cobb County home without talking about the Atlanta Braves. The relocation of the Atlanta Braves to Cobb County is the largest and most anticipated project in the history of our community. And our partnership with the Braves is proving to be a home run for Cobb County. Now, many have questioned and criticized how I handled the Atlanta Braves project. I can tell you today, I sleep well at night, knowing I did the right thing for Cobb County. And I want to make it very clear today that I am proud of the actions that I and the entire board took to bring the Braves to Cobb County. You know, we've mentioned it, but the Atlanta newspaper is never going to get over it. But the economic prosperity of Cobb County cannot be overstated. This partnership has and will change the future of Cobb County forever for the better. We are still more than 1 year from opening day, but the results already speak for themselves. Last year at this time, SunTrust Park was a very big pile of dirt. Today, it is clearly a ballpark. How about it, folks? To date, more than $400 million construction dollars have been committed or spent, and more than half of them have gone to Cobb-based companies. This project is on track and on budget, and I'm confident we can all agree that the Atlanta Braves are doing more than what they said they would do, and they'll continue to do so as they move forward. In addition to the ballpark progress, it was a big year for the mixed-use development the Atlanta Braves are building adjacent to SunTrust Park. Now known as the Atlanta Battery, the unprecedented development made several major announcements in 2015. Comcast will occupy a 9-story Class A office tower, bringing 850 new tech jobs to Cobb County. The Atlanta Braves will be bringing back the iconic Roxy Theater right here in Cobb County. Omni Hotels will be opening their second luxury hotel right here in Cobb County. And finally, 5 world-class restaurants were announced featuring some of the best-known chefs in the Southeast will open right here in Cobb County. Not to mention, it has already spurred an additional $300 million of private investment in the surrounding area. In fact, the Cumberland Community Improvement District predicts that more than $1.2 billion investment in just 5 years. This growth and these smart investments all point to a very bright future with endless opportunity. Now, let me tell you, there's one more thing that I want you to understand that the Atlanta newspaper doesn't want you to know. Unlike almost any other public-private stadium development in modern history, the investment by Cobb County into SunTrust Park is fixed. Under no circumstances will Cobb County be responsible for any cost overruns associated with SunTrust Park. Looking ahead, Cobb County is poised for greatness in 2016 and for decades to come. When we become the first county in Georgia to implement priority-based budgeting, we will strengthen our position as one of the most fiscally conservative communities in the country. And again, thanks to the Cobb voters, the 2016 SPLOST was passed by historic margins, and it begins this month. Public safety will continue to be the top priority as we begin planning for a new police headquarters and a world-class joint public safety training facility. Further, I am proud to announce that in 2016, the Cobb County Police Department, working with the sheriff and the district attorney's offices, will be implementing one of the strongest anti-gang initiatives in Georgia. This includes restructuring and reinvestment in both gang-specific law enforcement and prosecution. Cobb County has a message for anyone engaged in gang activity. You are not welcome here. This past summer, the commissioners made good on the commitment to reduce the millage rate on property taxes to pre-recession levels. We also made good on another commitment to fully fund 80 new police officers and other public safety improvements. In order to make good on those two commitments, our conservative budgeting policies required us to set the annual water fund transfer rate at 10%. Commissioner Burrow has consistently worked in a constructive manner to reduce the budget's reliance on this transfer. So I made this commitment to Commissioner Burrow that the reduction of the water transfer would be the top priority for any surplus revenues that come in above our digest projections. I am proud to announce today that the actual transfer rate in 2016 will be the lowest it has been in 15 years. And I'm committed, thank you, and I'm committed to working with the board to eliminate it completely. Finally, our fiscal health is giving the board the opportunity to revisit the issuance of the 2008 green space bonds without raising taxes. So, how are we able to buck the trends? Lower taxes, reduce the water transfer, and make large investments in public safety and green space? 2 words: SunTrust Park. And this is just the beginning. Revenues to Cobb have already exceeded projections, and we are still a year away from opening day. I remain confident that this is a home run for all of Cobb, and it will provide unrivaled economic benefit to Cobb County and its schools for decades to come. On behalf of the Board of Commissioners, my commitment to you is that we will continue to work together to maintain this bold and decisive leadership to keep Cobb County the best place to live, work, and yes, play ball. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.